Mamble and the missing meat. This is Mamble, a joyful man from Africa with one big love, food. Every day, Mamble thinks about food, dreams about food, and lives for food. One afternoon, Mamble was in his kitchen cooking a feast as usual. Jollof rice, fried plantains, goat stew. You name it, he was cooking it. We see Mamble stirring multiple pots at once, humming happily. But then, something amazing happened. Mamble's nose twitched. He smelled something delicious, something better than anything he'd ever cooked. Mamble sniffs the air dramatically. What is that smell? He wondered. It smells like peanut stew. Mamble follows the scent out of his house and into the village. So, off Mamble went, following the smell like a hungry lion chasing its prey. Through the village he went, past the market, through the fields, until finally he found it. Mamble arrives at a giant pot over a fire, eyes wide. A huge pot of peanut stew. But when Mamble looked inside, it was empty. Well, almost empty. Mamble sees one lonely piece of meat floating in the pot. There it was, one tiny piece of meat left in the whole pot. Mamble reached for it, but just as he was about to grab it, a chicken swooped down, stole the meat, and flew away. Mamble gasps, watching the chicken fly off. "No, my meat!" Mamble shouted. Without thinking, he chased the chicken through the village, down the road, across fields, until he finally cornered it. Mamble finally catches up to the chicken out of breath. He tried to reason with the chicken, offering to share the meat. But the chicken just swallowed it whole and flew away. The chicken flies off and Mamble stands there looking sad. Mamble stood there, defeated. He had lost the meat to a chicken. Cut to Mamble walking back home slowly. But Mamble was not a man to give up. He returned home and finished cooking his meal. Even without the stew, Mamble sat down to enjoy his jollof rice. Mamble sits down, smiling, and begins eating. In the end, Mamble learned an important lesson. There will always be more food, and even when you lose something, you can still enjoy what's left. Mamble leans back in his chair, satisfied, and starts snoring. And that's the story of Mamble, the man who loved food and never gave up.